So our next town hall, investment, finance, and infrastructure. I'm going to ask you guys to fill out that Slido poll one more time. What is holding India back around finance, infrastructure, and investment? And what's the greatest opportunity? So let's bring on our seasoned experts to talk through this very big topic. Please do welcome to the stage Raja Al Mazrouei, board member, managing director, and acting CEO of Etihad Credit Insurance. Please also welcome Sharad Agarwal, CEO of India Emirates NBD Bank, and Gautam, Shroff, MD and head ICG Nuvama. Right, well, we've got at least one panelist, so we'll ask you to come on down. How are you today?
All good. How are you?
I'm good. Good. So if we can have in this order, so I'm going to sit here, and then if I can have next to me Raja, and then Sharad, and then Gautam. So we'll leave the space for Raja. We'll join. In fact, I'll come sit next to you, and when Raja comes to join us, we'll slot them in. Oh, sorry, he's virtual. I'm very sorry. So we'll bring that up in just a minute. While we wait for Raja to come virtually, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the biggest investment opportunities for India. Please.
I think India investment opportunities are literally in every sector right now. If you look from what is happening in the country for the last 8 to 9 years. But if you talk about in terms of the priority, I think infrastructure is the biggest investment opportunity which everyone in the world can look for. And the consistency and the pace at which it is growing. And in the latest budget, whatever is the domestic investment which they have announced of $125 billion, that's a testimony that the country is going a big way in investments. And even if you multiply by 2 times, 3 times in terms of the FDIs, which is expected from the infrastructure companies, it's going to be a plenty.
Interesting. All right. Raja, we've got you on the screen. How are you today, Raja? Can you hear us?
Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today, albeit virtually. I'm very well. Thank you so much.
You think, briefly, is the biggest investment opportunity in India?
Technology.
Okay, I'll allow you a few more words. Thank you.
Absolutely. And, as the UAE has been actively promoting the whole economic integration, not only regionally, but also globally, such as the Dubai Expo 2020, which showed the country's commitment.
Unfortunately, you've frozen, so your line, we're going to get
sustainability and collectors.
Sorry, we've got a bad line to you. We're going to try to refresh that. I'll come back to you, Raja, but Gautam, give us your big investment opportunity.
I think it's manufacturing. A very, very clear thrust of Government of India and from the PMO office is that we want to develop our manufacturing. So I'll give you an example. Apple used to not manufacture in India. In about 2 years' time, the manufacturing set up today, Apple exports $1 billion of phones from India. So I think manufacturing, electronic manufacturing, like 3-4 years back, the electronic exports and manufacturing used to be $10-12 billion. In 3 years' time, it's become $20 billion. So very, very clear thrust that manufacturing is a very big opportunity for investments in India. The second one that I would say is that Government of India has a monetization program of all their roads, highways, ports, railways, right? So the figure in Indian rupees is 6 lakh crores. In dollar terms, it's $75 billion. So there's very clear roadmap laid for investors if they want to come and deploy money on high yield assets, and that's our infrastructure. So I echo your thoughts, sir.
Interesting. All right, Raja, sorry to interrupt you. Let's see if your line is better now. Finish your thought, please.
Okay. So I started with technology, and back to my panelists' points, manufacturing sector has been expanding with strong focus on technology and innovation. It has received significant investments from the UAE with the establishment of joint ventures and the acquisition of Indian companies in this sector. The infrastructure sector in India is also a promising area for trade and investment, with the Indian government launching initiatives to develop smart cities, improve public transportation, and modernize airports. The UAE has shown interest investing in Indian infrastructure projects as well. The service sector in India is growing rapidly, with the country emerging as a global hub for IT and business processes outsourcing. The UAE has been collaborating with Indian companies in this sector with the establishment of joint ventures and opening centers of excellence between the two countries.
We're running out of time. I want to talk about the China plus one strategy. China opening up after being shut for so long. What should India do right now to encourage more investment here? Starting here.
Yeah, I think in last 3 years, particularly after the COVID and during the COVID phase, and everyone realized that they cannot be relying on one single source of manufacturing. And that has led India as one of the preferred source of destination on China plus one. And Apple is, as rightly said, is one of the biggest example which we can copy, that they have sourced it right. They have not only started with one plant, there was news in 2 days back that they are starting another plant as well. And India, through the quality, through the manufacturing capability, through the cost of operations, has proved that they are equally competitive in giving the world the best what China has been given. So I think that in time to come, I think the conversion process which is happening, it will definitely lead to China plus one, and India is the one.
Interesting. Sharad, I'd love to hear from you a brief comment about the new trade agreements the government is signing. How much investments and trade flows you think they'll lead to?
I think it has to be in billions and billions of dollars. Don't have a number to it. But yeah, I think the whole world is now looking at India as a manufacturing destination. So China was the preferred vendor to the world, but now we've probably emerged. Electronics is one. Second, I think chemicals has come up the curve. When China shut down, we've become the preferred vendor to many, many large Japanese companies, very large European companies. And I think third, what we're doing well is in textiles. So electronics, chemicals, and textiles is something that will drive. And I think we have a lot of business opportunities. So I don't have a number to put to it, but I think my guess would be over 3 to 5 years, it could be somewhere around $100 billion.
Interesting. Sorry, I thought Gautam and said Sharad, so apologies. I want to get back to Raja one more time and briefly talk about how politics affects the investment decisions. What if it changes?
We live in a constantly changing environment, and politics plays a big role, especially on trade and economic agreements. And we have to be conscious and aware of those changes, hopefully anticipate them if possible. But regardless of all of these political challenges, you have your established relationships that where trust is actually there in the business environment and the economic engagements, and these are the ones that you could leverage on. And there are the constantly changing ones that will definitely surprise you. But I believe being aware, conscious, and prepared ahead of those changes will enable the governments and businesses to step up and be ready for any of those changes as they come.
So much. Right, our very brief panel. Thank you very much, gentlemen, and to Lady for joining us for that discussion. We'll show you the result of the Slido poll. Round of applause for them. Thank you so much.